Let's see, Isagi Yoichi. You've realized that you're no longer alone. But what will that do for you? What's up, guys? I got Punzo here, and here to do a breakdown / live reaction and review to chapter 282 of Blue Loco, which is known as Need. Man, I was trying to bar, but essentially chapter 282 of Blue Loco, which is known as Need You. And that is an interesting title. Once again, I sort of recently made a video talking about how Ness kind of has me scared, kind of has me doing backflips, kind of has me doing a little jig back and forth, considering I'm really confident he needs to do something in this. Now I see a last minute of the game, but if that's the case, this has to be his chapter, or it has to be a Kaiser chapter. I'm so scared. I'm a little scared because I wasn't sure where Ness is gonna go, and I'm not sure where Kaiser's gonna go. My glorious king, I know he's not scoring. I need my glorious hero king Isagi Yoichi to clutch up right now. Isagi, please lock in. But overall, I'm intrigued. So let's not waste any more time and let's hop right into it. Editing me. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go. What's up, guys? That guy with a pencil here. Fun fact, I do mean to have it on me and keep it on me at all times. And another fun fact. Come on, you gotta pre-draw it. It's peak every week. And so far, like that, honestly, then again, I say a lot of the other series I cover on streaks too, but I feel like nothing. I need to think about that before I make that bold behind statement. I need to think: does seriously every other series, do they not hit as consistently as Blue Lock? Is Blue Lock really just that peak? I think it may just be that peak. I don't know. That's crazy. That's crazy. Like this is the only series I cover like 16 series on this darn channel, and this and episode 9, they're the only two I will legit just pre-draw because I'm that confident. Kaneshiro Sensei has yet to fumble a bag yet, or make something weird yet, where I'm hesitant to draw it, but I'll end up drawing it anyway. Like, I don't know. Like, Kaneshiro Sensei just comes. But let's not waste any more time, and let's hop right into chapter 282, Need You. Ooh, that's a bar. Let's see. 1 minute remains within the Masters in play. Ooh, with the Masters in play. So the game, no way we don't end the game with the Masters on the pitch. I'm shocked it's already been 2 minutes. I mean, it makes sense. Like, a lot of stuff has happened already with the Loki and stuff. But still, that's crazy. We have to end the game in this thing. So how many more chapters do we got? Like, this is the question. How many more chapters do we have? Because we know, technically, if something happens, the timer can run out at like, no, we can get the timer down to like 5 seconds, end the play, and then start the next play, and the play can go on for longer than 5 seconds, and the match can still be on. So technically, the game does not have to end exactly in 1 minute. It can end in a minute and some change, because it is a play-based thing. As long as the ball's in play, the Masters will not leave the field. We found that out back in the Ubers game, I do believe. But with that being the case, the tension's rising, Loki. And honestly, if I had that Kingdom Hearts song, that may be in the background. But I do not. I think it's probably going to be Hollow Bastion? I'll see. But with that being the case, 1 more minute remains with the Masters in play. What will the last goal look like? Kaiser, please, my glorious king. This is the thing, though. I think, in a way, Kaiser's already secured his longevity. That was the big thing, right? Back before Kaiser scored, one of the biggest reasons I was like, Kaiser needs to score is in order to sort of guarantee his long-term success, guarantee his long-term viability as a threat. And thusly, he's kind of already met that criteria. So honestly, I don't actually need much more from Kaiser this game. I mean, it'd be cool to see him team up with Isagi. In fact, someone brought up a fantastic idea on the Ness video, where ultimately because it was like a combination of all three. It was Ness gives it to, I think it was like either Ness gives it to Kaiser, who gives it to Isagi, or Ness gives it to Isagi, who gives it to Kaiser, who then gives it back to Isagi. But regardless, unless it's something like that, I kind of don't need my glorious Divine Emperor to score. In fact, I do need my amazing Hero King to lock in and get this #1 spot in Blue Lock. But let's see what happens. What will this last goal look like? Like, I don't know. I've been chased before, like, not in like the, oh, sweet mother of mercy, my life is in danger, but like chased specifically in the race context. And it is always disturbing, bro. Like, you can feel their eyes on your back. I don't know if that's like anyone else who's run and like specifically done like the chase exercise where someone's chasing you down, whether it be on an incline or a flat. Like, y'all can feel it. So I know Kaiser, even if he's super locked on the game, he's like, I smell Yoichi. Why is he glaring so hard? Like I know it's a little bit uncomfortable, but Kaiser isn't a genius. Just like me, he grasps the field. He grasps the field through his senses. He's a talented learner, too. Yeah. Yeah, with the context of his backstory, he sort of is. Kaiser, but then again, it really is debatable. Because, like, I don't think anyone in the world can develop Kaiser Impact. And, like, technically, he kind of did, because the whole reason Kaiser got recruited by the future PIFA president was specifically because his kicks were so legendary that, like, the police were, like, beat up and stuff like that. And the PIFA world president was like, whoa, I see a vision with you, young man. Come with me. So, technically, that is innate talent. But at the same time, maybe it isn't. Because with Borrow being classified as a genius, which is true, some people clarified it for me. Yes, Borrow technically is a genius because he started out, before he did any of his training, he did his training to enhance his innate talent, but he was innately talented. That's where the whole king mentality and his ego was born from. It was the fact that he was initially born and built different. So the same thing overall technically applies to Kaiser, but in reverse, I guess. Where ultimately, if we look at his backstory through the lens of only developing Kaiser Impact and the extremely strong kicks through the hatred of his family around him or his father, and then by proxy, consistently practicing with that ball and kicking over and over and over and over again, trying to escape, and then thus that was training, he never had the innate talent, then I could see Kaiser as a talented learner. But ultimately, I've seen a theory going around, it isn't mine, so I'm not even going to claim it, but I agree with it. I think Isagi and Kaiser are a weird mix of both. I don't think either of them are technically just a talented learner or technically just a genius. I think they're kind of both. Because ultimately, like I said, I don't think anyone can just off the dome piece or train hard enough to get Kaiser Impact. Noah doesn't have Kaiser Impact. Loki doesn't have Kaiser Impact. They've spec'd into their own things. Noah has his heavenly sent ambidextrosity, and obviously Loki has his heaven sent speed, or who knows, maybe he trained for that too. We'll see. But essentially, it seems like those two geniuses do have that innately from birth, though admittedly, I'm not sure. I mean, some people are just born faster. I ain't even gonna knock it. But for Kaiser, he not only has the innate swing speed that comes with Kaiser Impact, but he also does have those learner traits where he ultimately is competing with them on the metrics of the abilities he's honed and trained on top of his innate Lord-given gift. And the same thing is with Isagi. Now, this is from the light novel and doesn't necessarily get expressed too much in the narrative, but we've had it talked about before. If you'll remember all the way back at the beginning of the series, Isagi's vision has been highlighted to be godly since, like, forever. Like, forever. Like, Chigiri specifically notes, I forget what the exact line is, but he's like, dude, you have, like, the vision of, like, a god, bro. Like, you see the entire field. Like, what is wrong with you? And, of course, we have Yukimaya most recently in Manshine. I'm like, oh, we're all dancing on the powers and he's so loaded. So, like, clearly, a lot of Isagi's own adaptability and traits, and especially his vision, are also innately gifted talents. That's not something one can simply acquire. Just like Metavision itself isn't kind of something for everyone to acquire. So, honestly, I think Isagi and Kaiser both are, like, talented genius learners in a weird roundabout way. I don't think it is simply you're one or the other. I think you kind of can be both. Sort of like how you can have a Venn diagram where some of it's talented learnerness and some of it's genius and you just smack them together. I agree with that common theory going around that ultimately Kaiser and Isagi are this weird hybrid. And ultimately maybe Isagi's next step by the time he gets to the U20 arc is acknowledging that, wait a minute, I'm a little bit him automatically. And then I put my learned nature on top of that. But let's see. He's a talented learner, too. Thinking back now, all his words and actions, even though those things seem so incomprehensible, there were reasons and logic behind all of it. But honestly, that's the thing. That's why I was kind of getting mad at Isagi before. Because, dude, same thing with Noah. And same thing with... Oh, okay. Same thing with Noah and same thing with Loki. After you experience it, it's just new data. You just gotta adapt. Of course, physically, you may not be able to react. Just like you downloaded Kaiser Impact, or at least downloaded how it functions and its range and stuff like that, and just how you downloaded Borrow and every other genius you encountered before. Now, like, you just do that, bro. Which is once again why I'm so confident in that, like, fused philosophy, where he's not just a talented learner, he's also a bit of a genius. Because that's what you've always been. There's logic and reasoning behind everything. Noel Noah's whole thing is logic and reasoning, but you view him as a genius, not a talented learner. But clearly, there's some little gap in there where you nestle in. So Isagi, I'm glad you're finally waking up, broski, to what you've done before. But even his Kaiser Impact, a strike using the world's fastest kick, is a weapon he had to think up. Yeah, it's a really powerful direct shot. Technically, yeah. Just like Isagi sort of thought up his own direct shot. But it's not like Loki or Rin's abnormal intuitive strength. Kinda, yeah. Once again, I would not be shocked if Loki wasn't always like just a deity. I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if it was when he just ran and ran and ran and ran. But we'll see. We'll see. Once again, we'll get that information. It's like the Isagi never will. But he's the type who makes plans around what the world regards as the ultimate. Wait, the world? Sorry, the JoJo fan of me broke out. I say it as I've never watched a single episode of JoJo or watched or read a single part. I need to fix that, but not today. Let's see. Wait, the world? Oh, are those the same thing? Talented learner, world style. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, the thing is though, considering talented learners are established to adapt off of geniuses, and geniuses are meant to be the exceptions born of the world, technically, a talented learner isn't world style. They're solo style. They base their progression and growth off of exceptional individuals, right? Like, Isagi got... Well, that's the thing. It's weird because he stole the behind-the-back thing from Naruhaya, but Naruhaya's not a genius, bro. But with that being the case, I'd say maybe world type makes sense in the grand scheme of things, because I guess it makes sense, because you adjust yourself to what the world would view as exceptional by taking what you can from those who are exceptional. So you go with what the world is saying on a grand scheme of things, but the learning part does come from adapting to those exceptions, to those people who are beyond in very specific ways. At least that's how I see it. At least that's my vision. Let's see. Not meta vision, my vision. Okay, let me stop. Let's see. The self-centered and self-style and world style ego types I theorized. The world style ego type finds it easy to perform in relation to the world's values and meaning. And a talented learner faces their opponents with logic. Are those two concepts the same thing? Not necessarily, because maybe because the logic piece doesn't just fit in. Maybe that's the thing. He's thinking narrow-mindedly right now. But technically the logic piece can fit in the realm of geniuses. Noah is all about logic, Isagi. But you and I and many others would readily acknowledge that man as a genius. So like, logic isn't just a supplementary piece that connects world-style egoists to talented learnerisms. No, it's just a piece that can kind of go anywhere. So honestly, while dividing the universe up into geniuses and then talented learners makes sense, to a certain degree it starts to blend a little bit too much. Because like, a talented learner you could argue you just drop the learner part and they're just geniuses. But let's see. That would mean geniuses have self-style egos? Kinda, sorta. I mean, for what we know of Noah, yes. And for what we know of Loki, yes. But like, notably, Rin is a genius all the way obsessed about what the world would view. Well, then again, no, technically, yeah, he is self-style. He would be self-style. Because he works on destroying himself. Admittedly for the sake of somebody else who is humbled by the world, but still, technically, it is all for the sake of Rintoshi, and by proxy, he does have self-style. Let me think of Nagi. Nagi is all about the greed, so he has self-style. Bachira, his whole thing of expression is self-style. Baro leads for self-style. So yeah, for all the geniuses that we've seen, technically, yes, they all do have self-style genius egos. Okay. I'm seeing the vision. Let's see. Wait, think this through. Pursuing value and meaning in relation to oneself is what produces a genius. A genius's inspiration and unthinkable inventions. But the thing is though, I wouldn't say they're unthinkable. I mean, but I guess to the point where they introduce it, up until they introduce it, it is unthinkable. But I don't know, I've always been that way. Like, once you understand something, it's no longer unthinkable. Like, 100 years ago, the idea of flying would have been absurd to humanity. There's no way we can do that. That's wild. That's crazy. That's illegal. We've been to the moon. Like, multiple times. Well, I think multiple times. Like, as a speed, like, we've been to the moon. In the same century that we first were able to get ourselves consistently off the ground. For what, like 12 seconds? I forget how long the Wright brothers went. It was barely any time at all. And now we've been to the moon and back. Flight is no longer unthinkable. In fact, it's a common part of many people's lives. So, unthinkable inventions become thinkable the moment they are invented. But that's like my interpretation of it. Let's see. That has to be the same thing. Darn, this fits right into my analytical framework. Almost as if geniuses are something you've comprehended before, Isagi. Crazy. Let's see. The world doesn't just revolve around geniuses. Geniuses are able to be discovered because there are talented learners, and as they admire each other and compete with each other, Their egos are honed in the fight, and that's how that's how all of Blue Lock has evolved. Yep, Rayo discovered Nagi. Though, once again, I guess he is a talented learner, but I'd say Rayo's pretty much a genius in himself. The man never played soccer before and ended up in Blue Lock. Snuffy, interesting. Shockingly enough, despite how much Snuffy backstory we got, do we actually know if he's a genius or a talented learner? He seems genius-esque, but I guess all of his tech is just knowledge of the game. He doesn't have, he just has really, really good fundamentals. And he went out of his way to learn a martial art, which he then applied to the fundamentals of soccer. So technically, I guess Snuffy is a talented learner. Because he is not, Loki has his divine godlike speed. Noah has his divinely gifted ambidextricity. Chris Prince doesn't have anything. I guess he's a talented learner. His knuckleball is something he came up with, but not really, because knuckleballs have been a thing. So Chris Prince would be a talented learner. Loki would be a genius. Who's the other master I'm missing? Would Lavahino? I guess Lavahino would be a genius. Self-style ego. He's all about himself. And also, no one dribbles like I guess. So technically, yeah. Thing is, though, who's the genius? Who's the talented learner here? Because Bachiro was already identified as a genius. I said Chigiri technically also would count as a genius. His speed and domination comes from unique. Literally, he's the most bare bones example of a genius we've gotten. He's so fast because of a literal genetic mutation. So I guess Kunigami would just be a talented learner here. Huh. I guess it makes sense. He was born physically strong, but a lot of that strength was just gained. He has nothing essentially highly unique. In fact, he was molded into a copy because of how non-unique he was. Let's see. And then, of course, Isagi Yoichi, who balances precariously in between. Let's see. No. How all of Blue Lock has evolved. Geniuses and talented learners aren't in a hierarchical relationship. They spur each other on in a relative relationship. Yeah, but I still, honestly, especially with all the discussion we've had so far, I would still give geniuses slightly more weight. I'd put a little bit more meat on them. Because when you think about it, a talented learner can only adapt and grow if a genius leads the way. So sure, a genius will evolve in response to a talented learner, but it's the genius themselves that provokes the evolution in the first place. But then again, no, because we just had Rin. Rin and Isagi just had their dynamic, where it was Isagi who woke up Rin. So I guess it really is a 50-50. But at least the way Ego describes it, I feel like geniuses have to take the lead. It is geniuses who have to take the lead, they need to be discovered by the talented learner who then bring it out. So it is still a step 1 genius, step 2 talented learner process. Innately. There are weird freak exceptions where talented learners end up waking up geniuses, such as Nagi. Really, Isagi and darn near every genius we've ever seen. But specifically, recently, Isagi and Rin, and of course you have Isagi and Baro, and of course you have Isagi and Isagi's responsible for waking up a bunch of geniuses. But let's see. They spur each other on in a relative relationship. We need more bodies here! Okay, I'll cover him! You are not covering Loki, Hiyori. Hiyori, I'm sorry, bro. You had your backstory last game, dog. You ain't doing nothing! Listen. Oh, okay, no, what you gonna do, bro? What you gonna do? Ooh. Okay, I was a little bit confused there, but nah, he has the ball here. Then he puts the ball to the outside of the foot when Noah catches him. Interesting that Noah catches him though. But then again, Loki's not allowed to run at full speed because he's dribbling. That's the thing. I highly doubt he can. He has access to full speed, but he's very much. And honestly, that's probably why his behind needs Charles. Because if he could just dominate everybody in a 1-on-1 contest of speed, it wouldn't be a problem. But as long as he can use his speed to get into an area where only Charles can reach him through metavision, that's why he needs that passer. Because if he could just blitz everybody 1-on-1 with the ball, then he wouldn't need Charles. But since he needs Charles, it goes to show that he does have that weakness. Give him the ball. Give him the ball and breathe down his neck, and then Loki probably can't do it as much. Though admittedly, he can probably still break past you. He very likely has his own evolved... Actually, no, we've seen it back in the World 5 game. He has the same thing that Chigiri does, where if he has the ball, he can still blitz. But it probably isn't as effective against Noah, because Noah is near Loki stats. Or has a similar stat spread to Loki, but with lower specs in speed and higher specs in strength and dura. But let's see. My head is clear now. I can do this. Up until now, I was trying to use the same insane method as the geniuses, but I'm not one of them. Press an X on that one, but partially. I get what he means. Partially. I'm pressing X a couple times. I'm doubting that a little bit. But let's see. Geniuses and talented learners, self-style and world-style ego types. We have different ways of using their abilities. Nothing will happen unless my talent and effort align. So think like a talented learner. How is Kaiser able to hold his own against the geniuses? Studying their tech, applying their tech, working around their tech. You've done this. But let's see. He started being effective this match once he dropped his fixation on me and the options he'd been using. Wait, what? Once he dropped his fixation on me and the options he'd been using and started applying himself logically, that was the moment things changed. That is true, because he started using every single piece available. Then I also need to drop my fixations. The rivalry I feel towards Rin, the malice towards Kaiser, and my admiration for Noah.
Why is it all clean? What's this panel, bro? Why is the panel so clean? What is this?
I've dropped those. What's left for me? So now...
Ooh, you locking it. Oh, you locking it.
That's interesting, though. So 1 month... Is it... That's funny, though. Because once again, I keep... Maybe because I'm not... I always appreciate y'all. This is why I always ask y'all to comment. Maybe I'm not getting something. But isn't this being self-styled? Leaving behind all your worldly obsessions. Once again, ironically enough, we keep going. Somehow we keep going back to Buddha. Like, gosh darn it. The Buddhism is everywhere. But, like, leaving everything else behind. Abandoning all worldly ties, worldly pleasures, and simply giving yourself away to yourself. Is that not a self-styled ego? That doesn't sound like world type. Isagi, you're not adapting to what the world wants to see, which would be you working with Kaiser, would be you surpassing it. Like, you're focusing just on yourself, Buckaroo? That sounds a little bit self-style. That's a little bit genius-esque, Buckaroo. That's literally what Noah said. He's like, I do not care about whatever else the world has to say or do. I simply reached this point, being considered the #1 striker and the greatest in the world, because I'm him. And because I knew I've always been him, and I'm gonna be him forever after. If that's what self-styled ego is, then Isagi, this is technically self-styled ego. So you just had this whole revelation about how talented learners use logic to get world-style ego, or vice versa. They're the same thing. Only for you to immediately start self-style. Like, I don't know. I feel like at least for me, off the top of the dome piece, I may think of this separately after the recording, and maybe it'll click in my head. But I'll need y'all help with this. Isn't this just the same thing as self-style ego? Leaving it all behind, dropping everything, and giving in solely to yourself for your innate desire? Oh, listen.
Oh, it's clean. Oh, it's clean. You just get a mark that say, oh, you clean beast. You clean beast.
Ooh, oh, he's back. He's back. We've awakened this again. I wanted to win. Isn't that right, Yoichi Isagi? Oh, he's lost his mind. He's talking to himself in the third person. But still, irregardless. That does not make sense. Regardless. Because irregardless just means you regard something. I heard that. I was like, whoa, wait, you're right. But regardless.
We clean with me, clean.
He's activated. He was an Ultra Instinct sign before. Now he's truly activated. Autonomous Ultra Instinct. Hey, yo. Hold on, let me stand on him, Isagi. Let me stand on him. Let's flex a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, call me a god of call me a god of destruction, the way I'm glazing this autonomous Ultra Instinct, bro. Okay. And Loki's still... Interesting, though, to see... So I wonder, is this Loki's aura? Have we even seen Loki's aura yet? Or is this just or his ego aura? Or is this just his speed, his divinity, his unique talent? Because we know this is Noah's aura. We've finally seen it. It is these strict logical shapes. But for Loki, is this it? Or have we still not seen Loki lock in exactly? Is there still more mystery left in the strongest striker of today? Who, as he goes up against the strongest striker in history? I don't know. Let's see. Follow Noah! Right there. You already know. Wait, did that go? Oh, that went over. I'm about to say, no way y'all got double nutmegged. How? That even worked. But no, I think it went right over their legs. No! And it's right to Rin. Ikaguri. Save us, Well, save us, Ikaguri. I was about to be like, let's slander him. No, I can't. He's won. He's won. He's won me over. He's got it. Ikaguri fans, you got it. Yeah, he got me. I've been acquiesced. I've been absorbed. Not into the fan base necessarily, but I respect him at this point. Ikaguri, clutch up right now. Hey, come on, you monster! If I run into him, that actor monk will fall over again. That's why Loki gave me this space. Is that Rin? While locked in? Actually using his brain? What? In order to... give me this space. In order for me not to make contact with him. What? No. Igaguri, how'd you already get power grab? The game's gonna have to end soon, man. The game has to end like the next 3 chapters or so. What? If Igaguri's already been crept, bro. If he's already been crept, we're cooked. There's no way Pikachu wins. Please, no. Please. Yes. I'll admit though, I like that Loki still. He's like Noah. He truly is in the sense that he just loves the game. He's like, yes, do it, Rin. Yeah, feed, yes, feed your boy. Like he is just genuinely excited to see Rin about to succeed. That I like. I like that he truly is invested. He's like, yes, do it, do it. Let's see. Mensa Birkenstock, you're both so good. Let's see. Cut off his path. Uh-oh, that tongue came out. He's licking his lips. He's a fiend. No. Bring it. All of you, come on. Whoa. I read that wrong. Come at me. I want to dive head first into the monster breakpoint. He's definitely 16. I remember I was mad edgy, bro. I was mad. 16-year-old me. 16-year-old Pencil was mad edgy. But like, I ain't go full like wrap band-aids around myself or put an eye patch on, but like, I might as well. I mean, heck, technically, I still wear like, typically now the fits are blue, but like, I wear a whole bunch of black still. I still got a little bit of that teenage emo still exists inside me. Let's see. I want to dive head first into the monster breakpoint. Golly. Kakamoru, no. Has he blocked a single shot this game? I actually don't. Has he blocked this thing? Has Kakamoru done anything this game other than get scored on? I think the defense is a little bit. I need to double check. I think the defense is a little bit low-key been carrying, bro. I think he's been scored on every single time they've at least gotten to the goal. I don't think he's actually blocked a shot this game, but I may not remember. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Let's see. Into the monster breakpoint. And here he is. In all his majesty, autonomous, ultra, instinct. Wait, see. That's not enough for a freak like you, right? You've been wanting me, huh? Rin, if you're a genius monster, then I'll be a talented learner monster. He's definitely 17. But yeah. But you know what? I like that. I really like that detail. Isagi, when he fully gets into the zone, when he truly dives deep, while his speech bubbles may be black, his text and his visual form is white. Soaked in the pure light of evolution. He's climbed that wall. And now Itoshi Rin, a being steeped in the shadow, is lost. Yep, is lost to the darkness. Oh, wait, that's the end of the chapter. Well, I mean, it makes sense. We gotta add on a cliffhanger like that. Let's go. Time to face the new me. Come on, Rin. Okay. Now this has to work. If he fails again, if Isagi does all this and loses to Rin, bro, the slander will never end. The slander will haunt the Isagi fan base till the end of the manga, bro. I'm telling you, Isagi, if you just got this power, bro, I need you to defend this and immediately go get this goal. Isagi, please. But, okay. This chapter is undeniably worthy, dog. It is a full. Once again, it did give me a couple mixed signals. I feel like we're just misreading though. I feel like the messaging is mixing a little bit too much in my brain. The signals are not clicking properly in my dome piece, so I ain't even go and blame it. This chapter is gas. It fully gives us Isagi's mindset. That's one of the best things about Blue Lock. Getting into these characters' heads and seeing what they're thinking and seeing how they're rationalizing the situation around them. And Isagi's clearly rationalizing the situation in this way. He's understanding everything within the framework of logic and then understands what logic he needs to apply to himself in this moment in order to achieve the level of power, the level of idealism, the level of the talented learner he must reach in order to finally achieve the ability to battle with geniuses. And now that he's finally achieved that, now that he dances into the palm of Rin's hand, but very specifically with a blade in his own, ready to strike Rin down, I'm confident in saying that Isagi Yoichi is about to cook. However, of course, that's what I think. Please tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, please do me a favor and leave the new me in the comment section down below. I'd like to thank you so much for watching. Please remember to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you hit that little notification bell so you don't miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do happen to have a Patreon down below where you can support me for as low as $1 to get things like exclusive videos, early content, and more. You also now become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. Some of those perks will include the live reactions to every the series I happen to review, and variations of all my videos, and if you become a $25 patron or a $25 member, you can order whatever video you want. Also, we do have a link to my Ko-Fi in the description down below. You can drop 5 beans for a short video, 200 beans for a long video, or any beans at all. Any support is always greatly appreciated. Now, I'd like to thank you so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is That Guy with the Pencil, writing off.
I'd like to give a thank you to our $3 members, Zara, Greyhound, Eternal Flame, Redwolf 4765, Astro, Brandon Payne, Glacier XZ, and G Prosper. And I'd like to give a thank you to our $5 members, A+A, Ignil Lind, Kevin Encarnacion, Midnight Lord 21, and Sean. And I'd like to give a thank you to our $7 members, Fine, Austin Wimberly, Uchiha, and Yuki Ally. And I'd like to give a thank you to our $10 members, AZ Void, J Warrior, and Robbie Uchiha. And I'd like to give a big old thank you to our $10 patrons, Overlord Zero, Waki Munoz, and Idem Okami. And I'd like to give a final gracious gargantuan thank you to our $100 That Guy with a Pencil tier patron, Calvin Elder.